Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm playing Racing Kings Chess, where kings race to the end of the board and checks are not allowed. The goal is to be the first to the 8th rank, and my goal is to win 3 games, but I will only play against higher rated opponents. Let's get started with game number 1. Alright, game number 1, we get the black pieces, and since we're both on the same side of the board, white apparently gets to be on the bottom, and I get put on the top, even though this is me playing. We get the bishop to the center, skewering the rook and the queen. I don't actually think there's anything I can do about that, so I'm just going to take a moment and start advancing my king. We get the rook all the way down, I'm just going to brute force it and continue to advance my king. This opponent is rated higher than us by about 50 points of rating. We get the other rook down, they are full committing, putting their rooks on these back 2 ranks to stop me from promoting. I'm going to go ahead and continue to blindly walk ahead. I'm very well blocked off across these 2 diagonals and across the 2 files, or rather the 2 ranks as well. We get the knight capturing. I can't really take back because then the bishop takes the queen, but I can, weirdly enough, continue to push my king forward. I do hang my queen, but I'm just trying to win by brute force at this point. So let's bring the rook down here. Should the rook capture, I take back with the king, or actually wait, I can't take back with the king. I guess I'd take back with the rook. Okay, we'll go ahead and take back with the rook. Bishop comes down, threatens the rook, can't actually take it, however. Let's play bishop here to try to deflect this bishop and get our king onto that second to last rank. And then we'll be in a really good spot. Oh, sweet. Oh, interesting. And what happens? If I push, they just take, so I can't? Okay, I see what they've done. I'm gonna move my rook over to at least cover this square before pushing my king down. Queen takes, I push my king down. I'm at the second to last rank, but I only have 2 pieces left on the board. So this is not looking ideal, but it is looking possible. The bishop slides back. Let's develop the knight. The queen can't actually take my rook because it would put me in check, and checks are quite literally not allowed. You're not allowed to put your opponent's king in check. The queen goes back. Is there any way on earth that I managed to pull this off? Let's go ahead and take this knight. It's not like my king is in danger. My king is just cut off. And that's the biggest thing that I have to worry about at the moment. The rook slides over, okay. What if I play rook here? If the bishop takes, I promote, is it promoting your king? I don't know. I win the game by, oh, I win. Sweet, with that we win game number 1. I'm pretty sure I played that horrendously and my opponent just messed up with that final bishop capture, but we did manage to, should we call it promoting the king? I'm gonna call it promoting the king. It feels natural for some reason. I don't know, I may rewatch this while editing and think otherwise, but for the meantime, promoting your king wins the game, and we did manage to win game number 1. Let's go to move on to game number 2. Alright, game number 2, we get a different opponent, rated even higher this time, get the king towards the middle. We'll go ahead and play copycat variation this time. I'm still on the other side of the screen, because technically we are playing from the same side of the board, so I guess white should get priority, but still, it's a little bit strange to look at. King comes towards the middle. Let's copy. I mean, it's kind of a power move to put the king in the middle now that I think about it, because you're not allowed to put the king in check. So it's not like it's in danger. If anything, it's severely restricting the moves that the opponent can make. Okay, we do have to do something about this king though. So let's bring the queen down, cut off the king. And it's a little bit annoying that our king can only make progress by moving back out to the board, especially now that we've realized that being in the middle of the board is actually quite an advantage. Now I could just take back, or I could take this bishop and actually threaten to take the queen. So I'm gonna go ahead and take here first, I think, with the idea that removing the bishop is very much something that I'm interested in, since it clears the way for my king to continue to advance. The rook does take back, I will take back as well. I'm not as interested anymore after the last game in egregiously losing pieces for absolutely no reason. It's interesting, this knight cannot move because it would put me in check, and that's simply not allowed. The rook comes and attacks my queen. We'll go ahead and cover her with another rook, and now we're actually threatening to take back. The rook could take us, but then we just recapture, fair trade. Okay, another rook comes into the game, fair enough. I probably should have seen that coming. I would double up the rooks, but the problem is I just dropped the bishop. Okay, so we'll get a little more creative. Let's play rook here. The rook can't take, nor can the queen, because it puts me in check. So even if the queen weren't here, this rook is actually completely defended, just on the merit that white can't take without putting me in check. Okay, now they bring the bishop into the equation. Very, very interesting. Okay, fair enough. We'll go ahead and trade off. Too much pressure on that square for me to really hold on to it at this point. We'll bring the queen down. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Oh my goodness. It's so funny. Every time I fall back on my chess tactics or whatever, I think of something that simply doesn't work in these variants. Okay, the bishop comes down. This wouldn't work because you can't put me in check, so there's no danger. Anyways, bishop comes down. How do we deal with the situation now? We'll bring the queen back up. We've done a pretty good job of sort of catching the king here. We'll slide the queen over to do the exact same thing on the other side. Our opponent's gonna have to make a really good case here that this doesn't work. Okay, we'll slide back over. I would accept a draw here because I'm severely underdeveloped. The white just has a lot more pieces to work with, but we get the rook sliding over instead. Let's target the bishop. The king does move down. I am simply just going to take. The rook slides down, I can't take because it puts the opponent in check. But what I can do is offer, quote unquote, a queen trade, which my opponent cannot accept because it puts me in check. The opponent could take the rook, I would take their queen, they would advance their king, I would cut off the king. Boy, that's a sketchy position, but I think it barely works. We get the queen down. Obviously, I won't take because it just allows the king to continue advancing, but I will advance my own king. And now the opponent can't take. Okay, the king moves down. Now I have to defend this back rank. Let's do that by moving the rook down. We are controlling that back rank. It is a very close call. If the queen moves down, yeah, that's a pretty tough one to defend. We'll bring the queen over, and I don't think all is lost quite yet. Rook comes up to cut off our king, which means the opponent has had a little bit of a change of heart. Oh man, we're down to 22 seconds. I did not even notice that. Okay, we'll develop the bishop, I guess. Rook slides over. Oh, and there's no way for me to defend this. I really thought this was just to cut off my king. Wow, that's a pretty good find. I have to admit, that is a pretty good find. And they don't even care about taking my queen. They just care about blocking that A1 square. But there's really nothing I can do about that. That is so insane. Yeah, I guess I just time out. Wow, GG's. Very good game by the opponent. With that, we lose game number 2. We currently have 1 victory under our belt. Let's go to move on to game number 3. All right, game number 3, we finally get the white pieces, but this time against an opponent rated 150 points higher than we are. To be honest, I'm just going to learn from what my opponent did and I guess do the same thing. Okay, so far we have the exact same game as the last one. I have no issue with that because the opponents seem to have a very comfortable advantage. We do get the queen developing. I'll employ the same idea, which was threatening the queen with the rook. So the only way to defend it is by moving the king, or rather, yeah, moving the king into danger in some way. Now I'm gonna take this bishop. Again, bishops are just generally so much better because they cover really long diagonals, which cut off a lot of possible squares for the king, whereas the knight is more like a little bothersome little brother that hops around, but doesn't actually cover any squares. We get rook takes back on f7. Oh, I can't take back because it puts the king in check. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't mean to click there. Oh my goodness. We've crossed the line from drawing bad arrows to literally making moves that we didn't mean to make. Wow, that is so bad. Okay, we're going to intend to get our king around this way. That is genuinely heartbreaking. Okay, the king goes down. We'll make this little queen move to stop the king from continuing to advance. This is damage control now. This is pure damage control. Holy smokes, and against a 1760 rated player. Yeah, nice move there, buddy. Okay, knight takes. We'll continue to advance the king. At this point, they can take everything that I own. I just want to get my king to the other side first. Rook comes down. Why can't I just take that? I see no reason why I can't just take that rook. So I will in fact take it. Is this the idea? I guess that works. We'll go and take back with the rook. We still have the opportunity now to continue advancing the king, and it's not clear how you get other pieces involved quickly enough to stop that. Get the knight out. Do I move out or do I continue to move within this file? I guess I should move out so there's never a queen sacrifice. Rook shuffles over. Now what happens if I just move down? I guess I should do it this way, but then the rook comes down. And if I go out, queen can't take because I just moved down again. Okay, so I guess this is the way to go. Rook does move down. Let's cover with the rook, but now what? The queen comes in on the diagonal, but then I win a free rook. Queen shuffles over. I do accept free material. We drop the knight, but then that would just allow us to promote. And actually, we have 2 different ways of promoting. So forget the knight. The knight is all yours, my friend. There's no way we're actually going to win this after a misclick. Are you the real deal? Holy smokes, I should probably tell him. Yes, I am. Smiley face. I hope you realize that because of my excellent gameplay and not because I misclicked. Oh, he says I'm so honored. That's so wonderful. All right, he says GG's. I say GG too. This is for a video. Thank you for playing. All right, let's shuffle the king over, and with that, we get our second victory and win game number 3. The opponent says, "Can I survive racing kings?" I say, yeah, that's right. I hope I do survive. We do have 2 victories under our belt. Honestly, I feel pretty good. Actually, well, I don't know about that misclick, or the fact that I got undressed in the first game and won because of a blunder, but besides that, I do feel pretty good. Okay, with that, we have 2 victories under our belt. Let's go to move on to game number 4. Oh, the opponent says he was a little bit nervous the whole time. I feel kind of bad, but I do relate. I also had a funky little misclick while trying to unravel my position. Oh, looking forward to the video, dude, thanks. All right, game number 4, we get paired against a perfectly equally rated opponent. We get bishop back, pinning the rook. I'm going to try the tactic we did last. I mean, I guess I could play copycat method. Should the opponent take, I take back. If they take, I take back again. Or I could just launch my king into the middle. But the problem is that I end up losing a I mean, the queens and the rooks are very, very strong pieces in this variant. So I end up losing a rook for a bishop, which frankly is quite porous. You can sort of just cross your king through that bridge anytime unless it's paired with another piece. So as much as I do want to go full Rampage Jackson and go king g6 and just run down the middle of the board, I think it does make more sense to sort of defend myself first. So they've defended their rook by putting the king in danger. So I'm going to, again, copycat. Neither of us can take because it would put the other in check. So it's quite literally an illegal move, not even allowed for us to play. Queen goes up. That's a first. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'm going to go ahead and take the tempo to trade off one of the bishops, which are usually a very annoying piece to have to play against. The rook does take back. It does allow them to develop their rooks a little bit faster, which may not be great for us, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to push my king forward. Now, if the bishop trades, I think I'm okay with it because my king is ahead of the white king. A little nuance about this variant that I don't think I've explained yet is that should the white king reach the end first, black can draw the game by reaching there right after on the very next turn. But it's not true vice versa. So if black makes it there first, white cannot compensate because white moved first. We get rook down. Let's go ahead and centralize the king even more. Oh wait, how did I? You've got to be kidding me. I am playing like a total beginner today. Wow, that was just there for free. What? There's no excuse for that. Just a free rook gone into the wind. Didn't even notice it. Wow, as if it had never been there. Okay, let's move the queen out of the way before I move the rook and also blunder my queen, which at this point I'm liable to do. We do drop this. I don't really care, I don't think. I'm going to continue to advance my king. I think that's how important it is to have what we'll call the initiative in this game, which having the king in front of the enemy king is crucial, I think. We get rook down. Let's put this bishop to good use. We'll block off one square, I guess, and also hit the rook. Okay, the rook shuffles over. Let's put some, oh, I can't do that because the bishop just takes. Yeah, let's maybe watch out for the bishops this time. Okay, how about this? Queen down with the crazy idea of just sacrificing the queen and then moving my king down right to the very end. Oh, I can't take because it's check on the enemy king. Interesting. A well-timed little tactic by the opponent there. Yeah, I think I may have overcommitted my king to the middle because while it does have its merits, it would have been a lot nicer to be able to block with these rooks. So, okay, let's do this. A little bit of a funky sacrifice. Two things can happen. The bishop takes, at which point rook g3 becomes possible. The other option is the knight takes, at which point I just win a queen. Okay, the bishop moves out of the way. I know I'm just sacrificing pieces at this point, but I'm in a compromised position, I would argue. So it's kind of necessary for me to make these compromises if I actually want to get to my king to the other side first. The best part is the rook can't even take because it's pinned to the king at the moment. So I guess the king could take and I would take back. White could bring more defense to that rook, at which point I might even just go full send on the sacrifice, but that might be unnecessary. We'll figure that out when we get there. We're both down to about a minute at the moment. Okay, the knight does come into play, which is unfortunately a very good move. Let's go ahead and take first. Worst comes to worst, that's at least a fair trade. Go ahead and double down on that rook now. We're down to 3 pieces, which is critical in this game. I mean, you need at least 1 or 2 pieces to block. And if you want to have any chance of holding down the enemy king, you want to have at least another 1 or 2 pieces to do that activity. On the bright side, the clock is running down. The king does take. We'll go ahead and take on d3. Should the opponent take back, obviously I'm going to take with my king and continue to get closer to the other side. I mean, the most majestic move of all would be to cut off my enemy king with my own king. But I think the most precise move here is queen over, with the simple idea that the queen will continue to block the king. I mean, the king isn't going to do like a jumping jack all the way over to the opposite side of my own king. So the queen cuts off. Oh, and I was going to say the idea would be to progress on this side, but the problem is now the queen cuts us off. Okay, what if I try to move your queen out of the way? Aha, and you can't take because that would put me in check. So we're gonna have to rehome this queen in a moment. If the king just sacrifices the queen, then the queen holds on to the back rank, and white doesn't have any other pieces that can do that activity. Oh, the knight comes into play. Oh, and I can't take. Okay, but I can continue to advance my own king. And now there are 2 different ways for me to quote unquote promote the king. And with 8 seconds, I don't think the opponent can find a way to stop both. Knight shuffles over. With that, we promote the king and win game number 4. With that, we get our 3rd victory. And I feel pretty good about that. I mean, I don't think I played the most precise chess. In fact, let me rephrase that. I played some pretty darn awful actual chess. Free pieces, misclicks. I mean, just the whole shebang. But we did manage to run away with the 3 victories. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below what other variants I should play, and I will see you guys in the next one.